Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch one of our quick help videos. One of the most important things you must do prior to performing an import is to make a backup of the database. Again, you must make a backup of your database before performing any imports of data. Please refer to the video on performing a CA4K backup. In this video, we will be providing an overview of the different import utilities available in the CA4K version 1.1.x software. These utilities will not include the new Active Directory badge import feature in the new version 1.1.x. The new Active Directory badge import feature does not import from an import file. It imports from a Windows Active Directory database. The main function of an import utility is to import personal information from an import file into the CA4K software. In many cases, the data in the import file is from another system. The CA4K has 3 import utilities available. Only one CA4K import utility out of the 3 is real-time, and the other 2 have to be launched manually. The names of the 3 utilities are Import-Export Utility, Data Pump Import Utility, and the Import Personnel Utility. In addition to the default import utilities in the CA4K, Continental Access can provide custom import utilities through our Professional Services department. There is a cost for these services. One example of a custom import utility is an import from PeopleSoft into the CA4K software. Please contact your regional sales manager if you require a custom import utility to be created. The goal of this video is to briefly explain the available import utilities, but mainly provide detailed information on the requirements for the import data file. This includes the syntax of the data and the delimiter types. Most CA4K import data files require at least the first name, last name, badge number, and facility code in the import file. Very important. Prior to importing a file with many records, it is always recommended to create a small test file to import. The test file can be a notepad text file containing only 3 or 4 records. Doing this small and quick import as a test will prevent any catastrophic errors from occurring while importing a large file with many records. Creating this test file is very easy and takes only a minute. The process will be demonstrated shortly. Each of the 3 utilities we will be discussing require different syntax and delimiters in the import file. In the CA4K version 1.1.x, there is a template file for 2 of the 3 imports. These template files in version 1.1.x can be found in the Card Access 4K Help folder. Before we demonstrate creating an import file, let's briefly discuss the data types the file must contain. Many fields in an import file are Boolean fields. The most common syntax for a Boolean field is a 0 or a 1. It can also be false or true. The next data type in the CA4K is date and time field. The syntax for the date-time field is displayed on the screen. In the CA4K, the time is only hourly and not minutes. Next, let's discuss the different import data file types. The first and most popular import file type is a CSV file that can be generated in Excel. Excel provides you the ability to save an Excel spreadsheet as a CSV file. If you open up this CSV file in Notepad, you will see all the fields separated by a comma. CSV stands for comma separated values. The most important rule with any import file, including an Excel CSV file, is the file must not contain any headers or field descriptions. Failure to remove all undesired data will result in the Continental import utility to fail. Our first demonstration is an Excel spreadsheet, saved as a .csv file. This file contains 4 records, with 5 fields in each record. In addition to the 5 fields, the fields' names are also included. Next, we will open up this .csv file using Notepad. If you review this file, the top lines contain the field names, and these field names must be removed, or else the import will fail. Next, the file displaying is the edited file without the field names. Again, it is required to remove field names and all other undesired data from the import file. This includes extra spaces. Unfortunately, many export utilities will append unwanted field names and characters in the file, and the file will require a lot of cleanup. The file should look very similar to our example on the screen. The next demonstration will display how to create a comma-separated text file using Notepad. Again, very important. It is always recommended to create a test file with 3 or 4 records in it, prior to importing a file with many records in it. First, open a new file in Windows Notepad. Next, add the data you want to import with a comma between each field, and then save it as a text file with an extension of .txt. Regarding the delimiter, the most common delimiter is a comma, but the delimiter can also be other characters. The data pump import utility we will be discussing shortly uses a pipe character as the delimiter. The pipe character is the character with a vertical bar. Next, we will create a new text file with a last name, first name, and badge number. After the last field, do not enter a comma, but you must press the Enter key. Upon entering 4 records, save the file and close it. Next, we will give a very brief demonstration of using the Import-Export utility. This utility will also be explained in detail in another video. This utility, unlike the others, does not require the fields in the import file to be in a specific order. In this utility, you map the columns to the fields in the import file. Next, launch the Import-Export utility under Reports in the CA4K. Next, specify the path of the import file. Click the Select Name button and browse to the file. Next, you will see a General, Access Groups, Control, Personal, and Custom tabs. Each of these tabs contains all the associated fields in a personnel record. Next, map fields' column numbers to the physical position in the import data file. For our demonstration, Field 1 is the last name, Field 2 is the first name, and Field 3 is the badge number. Next, click the Execute button. Next, an Import Finished message box will display. Included in the message is the path to the log file. All our import utilities will create a log file, and it is very important to view the log file after the import is complete. The log file will display all errors if there was any. In addition to viewing the log file, you should open Personnel and verify the records were imported. In addition to this series of videos regarding CA4K import utilities, please refer to the CA4K help file for additional information on all the import utilities. Here is a quick summary. Most systems, including the CA4K software, provide the ability to export personnel data out of the system and save it as a CSV file, text file, or another type. Unfortunately, in most cases, the export utility appends unwanted fields and undesired data to the file. This does require cleanup of the file before importing the data into the CA4K. Again, please refer to the dedicated video for the import utility you choose to use. This concludes this quick help video on the import utilities available in the CA4K software. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.